You've worked with musicians before, and you always said, if you can't tell a story in 10 minutes, it's not worth doing. Any story can be done in 10 minutes. Now, this one, though, is a very special story. Was it immediately a no-brainer to you that this story needs a feature film?
Yes. Yes, because I used to do those kind of 7-minute stories, and normally you could actually tell stories like in 3 minutes, if they are good for 7 minutes. But this I couldn't even retell in 6 minutes if I spoke the fastest I could. So I thought it needs to be a longer film. For the first time in my life, I thought I had a story that deserved a feature length.
Yeah. Now, it's one thing having an incredible story, it's another thing telling that story. How difficult did you find it to kind of sculpt out a filmic narrative, considering there's so little archive footage of your subject?
Right, yeah. That was why we had animation. The idea was to have much more animation, actually, but we never could afford it because it's ridiculously expensive. Yeah, there was a problem to tell a story because Rodriguez was never famous ever, in Detroit where he was living. He didn't have a video camera, and there were fortunately a few very nice photographs we could use, but more than that, nothing. Yeah.
So, Rodriguez, how exciting is it for you, for your music finally to be reaching this global audience?
The energy in the room itself it speaks for that. Thank you very much. This is Malik Bendjelloul's film, and the thing is, I didn't have anything to do with the scripting of the interviews. I didn't choose who he would interview. I don't think he had a title for the film. I know he worked on his kitchen sink to put it together. I know this is his first time as director, and that and it's a remarkable thing that he's done. And he didn't know he was going to win, so that too. So this excitement has carried and excited my music career as well. So I'm very thankful to Malik Bendjelloul for this. And yeah.
And you're obviously delighted with the finished film as well. You've seen seen it over 30 times.
Yes, sir. Oh yeah. And my favorite part is when I see my daughters on screen. I have 3 daughters, Eva, Sandra, and Reagan. And to see them, I see them film stars,
So something I wanted to ask you is, obviously at the start of a film, in the archive footage and in the talking, it's evident you're a very shy man, an introverted man. You used to play with your back to the audience. And then in South Africa, you turn up in front of thousands of people and you seem to just take to it like a duck to water. I mean,
geez. No, it's, I had a lot of help getting up there. And the thing is, yes. And it was something.
Was it a case, though, of just because with a life behind you, you felt more confident, more ready for those audiences, or was it a case of because they've come out especially to see you, it made a difference?
Anybody who's been to South Africa, it's a beautiful country, gorgeous people. They're very sweet. They're sweethearts. I've been to my fan base, quote unquote, is in South Africa and in Australia, and so that's where my support is basically, and they're at the shows and they're in the audiences. So.
Wonderful.
It's a real, and when I heard them singing my stuff during the concerts, I knew it was genuine. At least they helped me through that too. So it was good.
No, it's great.
So, yeah, but it's a gorgeous place, and the people there, just like at the Sheffield Film Festival, we just returned from, and we're going to LA Sunday.
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. So to do a screening, which is a pretty fast pace, it's so. Yeah, so...
But I was actually working, looking for stories. I was traveling around Africa and South America for 6 months with a camera, just scouting for good stories. And in Cape Town, I met Sugar, Steven Sugarman, and he told me this story, and I was like, wow, this is like the best story I ever heard. And yeah, that was like 2006, and ever since then, I've more or less been working on this.